Hey Ryan, it's Tim. Gosh, it's been a good few years since I've seen you, eh? Yeah, I mean, it was in those several years uh, that I've been thinking about you. I mean, as a result of the fact of the matter that I've been going through hardship, and it's been very, very difficult. But hey, you know what? I continue to move on, and I continue to do my day to day. But anyways, that's not the point here. Ryan, yeah, gosh, I really miss you, pal. Like I really do. Yeah, I mean, I mean, gosh. You always make me feel in a specific way, you know. I mean, it's always very, very positive with you, and I really like that about you. And I mean, you know, I was doing my thing, like at Sam's, you know, and I was doing my day to day, the whatever trivial things that I did in those days, and you know, I mean, I kept doing and doing the things that I did, and then next thing I know, you started going to Sam's, and I was just like, oh damn, don't I know you from this other fucking high school? And I was just like, oh yeah, excellent, great, awesome, you know. Anyways, I was just like, okay, what do I recall from this person? You know, I mean, I don't really recall that much, but yeah, I mean, we didn't really have an encounter at that other high school, but you know, you were doing what you were doing, and I was doing what I was doing, and clearly we were both having fun and doing our thing, because we're both similar in a specific way. You know, I mean, I like that about me and you. You know, I mean, we tend to do things that. Are very, very let's just say oh gosh, I don't even know what to say, how to say interesting. Let's just call it interesting, all right. But anyways, I kept doing what I was doing, you did what you were doing, and next thing I know, you start dating one of my friend's friends, and I was just like, oh, Ryan's dating this person. You're dating Sess. Ooh, ooh. And you kept dating her, and I was just like, oh, you're dating her. I kept doing my thing, right? And I was just like, oh, Ryan's dating Sash. I was like, oh, how does Traveris feel about that? You know, I was always very, very considerate about Traveris, you know, because Traveris would always, it would be very, very, very anxiety inducing for me and Traveris to like encounter one another, because it's like it's very anxiety inducing. Like, you know what I mean? He's alright, and he does what he does, but you know, I mean, you ended up dating Sess for that specific duration of time, and I was just like, oh, Ryan's dating Sess. I was just like, oh yes, I wonder what's going on, you know. And that's when I was just like, oh yes, Ryan is dating Sess. It was very, very interesting because I would see you and Seth walking around, doing your thing, and I would just be like, oh, yes, yes, yes. It was very interesting. And then, next thing I know, the relationship comes to an end. And then, I was doing what I was doing, and then things started becoming rocky between me and Jamal, and there was some sort of a friction going on between me and him, and I needed to avail of another individual so I could have some sort of a leverage. And that's when I was just like, let me start a conversation with Ryan, because he dated Seth. And so there was this one specific day where we were sitting in class, and I was just like, "Oh, hey, Ryan, do you have a pen I can borrow, or that?" Or I asked some sort of a question to start a conversation, and then we kept talking and talking and talking, and I was like, you're from this school? Oh, yeah. You went from this school to this school to this school, and I was like, oh, yes, Ryan, yes. You're going to be a good person to me, and then I was just thinking that to myself, but I was like, wait, I need to avail of some sort of a leverage. And so we ended up talking, and soon enough, I would be ping-ponging myself between you and Jamal, and I'd be like ping-ponging. And I really enjoyed it, I really enjoyed it, it was something for me to do in high school at Sam's, there was not that many things to do there, but, besides you and Jamal, but, I really, really rather enjoyed it, and, I don't believe that you entirely liked it, because I would be doing things with Jamal, and you'd be like walking past me, and I'd just be like, I'd be feeling really anxious about it, I don't think that Jamal liked it either, but I kept doing what I did, and soon enough, things were like fucked up, and I had to reorganize, and Jamal moved schools, and then it was me, you, and Ian. Ian was like, "Oh, what are we gonna do now? We're gonna be here at Sam's," and I was just like, "Oh yes, we're gonna be here at Sam's." I remember the specific time, Ryan, when you asked me, "Oh, Sam, what is it that you want? What is it that you want?" I was just like, "Oh, you know what I want? You know what I freaking want? I want to do politics." And that's what I was trying to do, I literally told you that, and I was just like, "Oh, Ryan. I really enjoyed our time, Ryan, together. You were always very jovial, comedic, positive. You gave me a lot of euphoria. I always felt that I was in a good mood with you. I was always very, very concerned about the fact that you don't have your parents to go to, and I was a tad empathetic about it. I'm still concerned to this day. I don't know where you might be, but I do think that you're in some sort of a better situation than you were in the most recent time that I had encountered you. But anyways, Ryan, super super interesting the time that we had, and then there was Ian. Ian was around doing whatever he was doing. We would walk around the school and then talk and talk and talk, and then oh, and then there would be Stephanie. Stephanie was like, I would go to Stephanie about the things that I've been experiencing. You know, I would go to her house after school and do the things that I do with her. But I would be thinking about you, Ryan, and I'd be like waiting and waiting and waiting for the next day so that I could go and chill and hang with you again. You know, that was what I was doing back then, Ryan. And you know, I mean, you had some stories that you told me, and we were actually at the portable gym at that time, and I was like, oh, how did you get so buff? You know, I mean, where did you get these? You know, these are very very nice. And he's like, oh yeah, I used to exercise with one of my other friends at the other school, and I was like, oh, all right, super super awesome. And you know, I mean, I kept my discretion about exercising for a long long time, Ryan, and then I started doing it, and then I was able to ascertain something that I wanted since high school. Anyways, Ryan, what I'm going to say to you, Ryan, is that, yeah, I mean, I really enjoy you. Like, I really have fun when I'm with you. You know, I mean, things that we did in high school and postgraduate. You know, I mean, super super awesome. You know, soon enough, Ryan, there's gonna come a day that I might encounter you again. You know, I can't wait. You know, I mean, it's very very exciting. Next time I see you, Ryan, I think that I'm going to be in a better position than I am at this moment. You know, I like I said, I've been going through some difficulties, you know, and it just needs some patching here and there. However, I'm going to get through this. But anyways, Ryan, with that said, someday, somehow, we're going to encounter one another again. I really enjoyed all the time that